do we look at CJ Carr though for Heisman? Because they're the Cowboys and the Bengals of college football, where they're all offense, no defense. Every game is going to be like this, where they're going to score in the 40s. He is the Notre Dame quarterback, and he does have that narrative of his team starts 0-2, they win 10 straight, they get into the playoff, they average 45 a game, he's throwing and running for all these touchdowns. Now, I know Love and Price, the running backs, are going to get a bunch of TDs as well, but like, do you think there's any case to be made potentially for CJ Carr as we're getting ready to talk Heisman? Because again, Paul, like Notre Dame, I mean, they're not going undefeated. They're not going to be one of the top seeds in the playoff. But like, do you think there's a path there just because of how much they have to score this season in all these games and how many points and the stats that he's going to put up?
Man. Like, it makes sense. I just don't know if, like, here's what's holding me up. All right, so you beat Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
NC State's kind of an over team, so you're going to have to play a shootout there. USC, I mean, you knock out
right.
Maeva there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a huge game that night. Now, does the BC, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford walk, or at least it should be a walk, to the finish line help him because he gets to pad his stats, or hurt him because it's like, all right, cool, man, you're beating BC and Navy and Pitt and Syracuse and Stanford? And when you've got guys like Ty Simpson, who's going to have to, again, play it out however you want. Carson Beck, will be, again, a pretty soft schedule after next week's Florida State game. If they can win that, how does he pass a guy like Carson Beck in that scenario? Fernando Mendoza, I'm sorry, I can't really buy that. Certainly not as the favorite right now. I understand why it is where it is, but will that last? I don't see why it could not be CJ Carr instead of Gunnar Stockton. You can sell me on that, sure. Marcel Reed beat him head to head, but does A&M fell off. I've had a tough time getting there, but I understand the point. I'll say this: I'd rather bet CJ Carr than Drew Aller.
Oh, I agree. And, it's funny because both are in similar circumstances in the point of they have two great running backs, right? So Aller has Singleton and Allen. Now, Aller has the good defense with Penn State, and they're going to be more high-profile games, and, they can afford some losses, obviously, since they don't have any. But I agree with, Paul, he's got 294 and 4 touchdowns. CJ Carr does in the first half. So I don't think he's going to win it just because they didn't win one of the A&M or Miami games, right? Like, I feel like you got to win one of those marquee games. And you were bringing up the schedule. It feels like USC's kind of the only game left where a lot of people are going to pay attention to, the only game where there's playoff implications between both teams. Potentially we'll see how USC, what they do today in the next couple weeks. But I just think from that standpoint, I think the stats and the numbers are going to be there. And I like the narrative of ripping off 10 straight and he's Notre Dame's quarterback, all these things. I think the fact that they lost to Miami and A&M is going to hurt them. But, Paul, you look at this board and, there's really nobody I want to bet. Mendoza at plus 650, forget that. Dante Moore in Oregon, I think they lose today, I'm good. Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State, 12-1, I'm good. Carson Beck, I think amongst the top guys would make the most sense. I do worry about the 2 road games, though, to end the season at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. And for a team from South Florida and a quarterback playing in nice weather and practicing in nice weather the entire year, and then to go to those 2 places at the end of the year where if you have bad performances, it's going to get magnified. I just don't love that. Then you got Stockton, Georgia, Reed A&M, Hoover TCU, Nussmeier LSU. To your point, that's why it's so wide open. I think Ty is a good look. Ty Simpson's Bama quarterback. Kind of even think Arch is a good look, Paul. He's still Arch at the end of the day, And now you're getting him at 20-1.
He'll have the opportunity, right? He'll have the opportunity to make his case. I think more of an opportunity than CJ Carr. I don't think I'm gonna hold on to my Ty Simpson 20 and kind of hope for the best, and then seeing how tonight goes, maybe revisit after the fact. I wonder, and again, Joe Ostrowski on BetSweats, he's holding him a tier ticket. He's holding out hope he actually plays in the Texas game, and I think if he does, he still might be alive. Otherwise, that could be a dead ticket. No interest in someone Haynes King will be out of the race after today if this score holds up. So wide open. Very interesting.